Hello there, it's Mr. Grant, and I'm here to give you a little overview on the lesson Parliament Stumbles Again. Most of this can be done independently, but where we left off after last class was with the Stamp Act repeal. The colonists protested in various ways against the Stamp Act tax. And the biggest argument the colonists had was the claim that there is no taxation without representation. And both Patrick Henry and the Stamp Act Congress made that clear in their petitions. And so, after various protests of violence, nonviolence, written documents, petition, boycott, the boycott put enough pressure on British business to pressure Parliament into removing the Stamp Act. And so, yay, the colonists won. But because of the confusion over the no taxation without representation, uh, England wanted to clear the air or make it known on what the roles between the American colonies and England were. And so England responds to the Stamp Act repeal with something known as the Declaratory Act. And the Declaratory Act is a statement from Parliament that says the colonies are subordinate to Parliament, means the colonies are under Parliament's control, and Parliament has full power and authority to make laws for the colonies. ... in all cases whatsoever. So this means anything that the Parliament wants to do, it can do in all cases whatsoever. All right, now to see if this new law is going to work, that means England has to try it out. And so England sets forth a group of new laws called the Townshend Acts, and you can see this is linked in your Google Classroom. And if you scroll down, the Townshend Acts have 5 parts. They're right here, but each of them is explained further down. And this is really what you want to understand, because this explains why the colonists were so outraged. Like all taxes and laws the colonists don't like, they're going to go through their pattern of protest. They're going to complain. They're going to protest non-violently with demonstrations. They're going to protest violently with vandalism. They're going to print things in newspapers and pamphlets. They're going to write petitions to people in authority, and they're going to boycott. And all of these things are intended to eliminate the Townshend Acts. Okay, so you're going to find the definitions for your note sheet in this area right here for each of these acts. And the other document you'll need for the activity is to explain what happened as Parliament stumbles again. And here's where you get the title of the lesson. Once you read this short document, it's going to tell you about the Townshend Acts, about the colonist response, and then it's going to introduce an incident that we're going to focus on for a couple days called the Boston Massacre. This event is described in brief detail here, and so I would have you read that to get a general understanding of the event that occurred. So as you complete your note sheets on those events, we're going to look at the next activity, which is titled the Boston Massacre Art Analysis. So when I open this up, there's a few things in there. There's a PowerPoint presentation, and that's really what we want to see here. Let's see if it opens up. All right. Okay, my bad, I already had it opened up. So in this PowerPoint, there's a few pictures, and these are to practice your analysis on. These are some iconic photographs from the Great Depression. So we're just practicing our picture analysis. So the activity has you using this graphic organizer, and I created one for you to use that's attached. Your assignment would be to analyze the image. Did it again. Analyze the image. Okay, to identify our big idea here, our essential question. How is our understanding of the Boston Massacre influenced by artistic images? And this can go for any historical event. When we see images of it, how is it portrayed? Who is the creator? And what is the message that they're trying to give to us on that event? So we have some pretty straightforward instructions here. You have 10 minutes to analyze image 1 and image 2. Complete the worksheet that's attached for each image, and then use your observations to complete your compare contrast worksheet. I don't believe I included that for you, so just make a note of what is different between the two images. You may have to make a copy of the worksheet to have two copies for your activity. All right, now here's the first one. This is pretty famous. It's Paul Revere's copper engraving. In other words, he etched it on a piece of copper. You throw ink on top, and then you press it against paper, and you get the image. And they can make copy after copy this way. So what exactly do you see in this image? You'll want to get close up. There's detail up in the buildings. There's detail on each side. You can look close up with some of the people here. You can look on this side at the people. What exactly is happening? What do you see happening? And you're going to record some of your observations. Now, what you're going to compare it with is a piece of art by Alonzo Chappell. Okay? Where is the setting? What objects are here? What people are here? How do you describe the people? Okay? And what action is taking place? So these are all the things that you'll be recording on your note sheet. And when you look at this one and this one, what similarities and differences do you find? Now, based on those two alone, what do you really think happened at the Boston Massacre? And that is your assignment, is to explain what really happened at the Boston Massacre based on the artwork. All right, now we can take this a step further for the following painting, and we're not going to do too much with this, but we'll talk about it. Now, how does this third rendition of the same event vary from the two previous ones? What is different? What is the same? So those are some things we want to think about when we're looking at artwork or images of historical events. Okay, so hopefully that is enough guidance to get you through the activity. So again, what really happened during the Boston Massacre? Using information from the resources, write an eyewitness account of this event. Pretend you were there. Pretend you actually saw what happened. Tell us what really happened based on the artwork. I don't want you to Google it. I want you to look at the artwork. According to the artwork, what really happened? What looks reasonable? And come up with a little story about what you saw. Okay, so I will do this live with my remote class. We'll get to talk about it. If you're home tomorrow, you're on your own to do this. And if you're in class, we will do this live in class as well. All right, have a good one.